Design of transmission shafts. Hello. In this video, we will take a look at how to design transmission shafts. What is a transmission shaft? The definition says, the term transmission shaft usually refers to a rotating machine element, circular in cross-section, which supports transmission elements like gears, pulleys and sprockets and transmits power. You can see illustration of a shaft with a spur gear attached to it. Designing a shaft means basically finding out its diameter. If the shaft is solid, we need to find only one diameter. If the shaft is hollow, we will find two diameters, that is, internal and external. Now, taking a look at materials topic. Any material has different properties like tensile strength and shear strength. Now, tensile strength is the maximum load that a material can support without tensile failure. Shear strength is the maximum load that a material can support without failure in shear. These properties are important while designing a shaft. Also, we do not want to allow the stresses in our shaft to develop fully up to the values of tensile or shear strength. So we reduce them by a factor and call it as allowable stress. Allowable stress is the limit of stress that is allowed in a particular part, and this is the value that is used to design the shaft. Design of shafts is split into various categories, as you can see. The main branching is between solid and hollow shafts. And under them, we have strength bases, rigidity bases and ASME code. We will look at each of them. You can see, under strength bases, there are 5 different cases. 3 of them are the cases with pure stresses such as tension, bending and torsion. The last 2 include combined stresses. In the first case, we have a shaft under pure tension. Here, we find out the tensile stress developed in the shaft with the given formula, and we see to it that this value is less than or equal to the allowable stress value. Equating these values, we will find out the diameter of the shaft. In the second case, we look at a shaft under pure bending. Same as in the above case, we find out the bending stress using the formula shown. We equate it to the allowable stress value and find the diameter out. In the third case, we have a shaft under pure torsion. We find torsional stress out using the formula again and equate it to the allowable stress to calculate the diameter value. Now, we have combination of stresses applied on the shaft. For combination of 2 or more stresses, we need to look at Mohr's circle. And for that, we need 2 values, which are sigma x and tau. These values for different cases are as follows. If all the 3 stresses are applied, that is, tension, bending and torsion, then sigma x is the sum of sigma b and sigma t. If only bending and torsional stresses are applied, then sigma x is equal to sigma b. Torsional stress remains same in both cases, which is equal to tau. Let's look at Mohr's circle. You can think of Mohr's circle as a function which takes in 2 values and gives out 2 values, which are helpful for designing the shaft. It takes in sigma x and tau, as discussed before. It gives out principal stress and principal shear stress as output. Based on these 2 values, we will design the shaft. Let's see how to draw the Mohr's circle. You can see the steps here, but I will explain this in the form of illustrations. Select a point and call it A. Mark another point on the line segment with the length of sigma x, call that point as B. Draw line segments perpendicular to AB on either ends of AB with the length of 2. Call these new points as C and D. Join these points as they intersect with the line segment AB, call the intersection point as X. Draw the circle with point X as center and CD as the diameter. Now, we will calculate the radius of this circle, which is equal to the principal shear stress. The radius of the circle is equal to Cx. If you observe the triangle CXB, Cx is the hypotenuse. Hence Cx is found out by Pythagorean formula. XB is half as long as AB. Hence XB is equal to sigma x by 2. BC is the length of toe. Hence, the principal shear stress is given by the formula as shown. Principal stress is given by the line as indicated in the illustration, the line segment AE. It is equal to the sum of AX and XE. AX is half of sigma x and XE is the radius of the circle, which we found out just now. Hence, the principal stress is given by the formula as shown. After finding out these values, we can choose to design our shaft based on one of the two theories, maximum principal stress theory or maximum principal shear stress theory. In the first theory, the principal stress should be less than or equal to allowable stress. In the second theory, the principal shear stress should be less than or equal to allowable shear stress. Here, you have to be careful to write sigma x as sum of sigma b and sigma t or just sigma b itself based on the particular combination of stresses. Let's see how to design a shaft based on rigidity basis. Again, a bit on the materials topic. Any material has this property called rigidity modulus. It is the measure of rigidity of the body, and it is computed as the ratio of shear stress to shear strain. Consider a shaft is subjected to a torque as shown in the illustration below. Shear stress and shear strain formulas are as shown. Simplifying, we pull out theta in the left-hand side, and it is given by the formula as shown. J is called polar moment of inertia, and for circular cross-sections, it is given by the formula as shown. This formula contains diameter in it. Hence we calculate a value called theta by L, which is called permissible angle of twist. Diameter of the shaft is found out using this value. Let's see how to design a shaft based on ASME code. ASME code considers maximum principal shear stress theory. It also introduces factors to accommodate for shock and fatigue. In this method, we consider principal shear stress as one of the two shown values, with or without keyways. SYT is the tensile strength of the material, while SUT is the ultimate tensile strength. KB and KT are the shock and fatigue factors. You can now see the formula for toe max as shown, which includes the aforementioned factors. The values of KB and KT are taken with respect to how the load is applied. We were discussing the design of solid shaft till now. In order to design a hollow shaft, we introduce a new variable, called C, as the ratio of internal and external diameter. In any of the previous formulas, if we replace diameter, D, with D naught into 1 minus C, we will obtain the equations for hollow shaft. Generally, the relation between two diameters will be mentioned in the question itself. If not, we can take an arbitrary value and solve the problem. Links for the presentation and handwritten notes is given in the description.